In Super Mario Galaxy, you do this. In God of War, you do this. On the surface, these games couldn't be more different. One is a nostalgic, happy-go-lucky romp through a child's interpretation of space. The other is the most brutal, eye-popping look at Norse mythology since, well, Norse mythology. One is violently attractive, and the other attractively violent. One is Mickey Mouse and the other Monster House. But no matter how different these two games are, they both have moments like this.
Oh. Oh.
Find your way home. You are free.
Did you hear that? Exactly. And that's the sound of the game's atmosphere taking over. More specifically, the emotions taking over. That's the moment that creates a relationship between the player and what's happening on screen, that blocks out everything else in the world and wraps you into the fantasy. That is the sound of intimacy. Throughout my life, there have been some constants. My family, my stuffed animals, my obsession with Oxford commas, obviously. But what's more interesting is how some constants fade. They're not front and center, but in the deep recesses of your mind. They're always in the background. They're always a part of you. For me, the item that falls in line with this term of the vague constant is video games. My earliest memories aren't the time in second grade when I peed my pants, or a more respectable memory like playing baseball with my brother in the backyard, but with Mario. Mario in space, to be exact. Super Mario Galaxy entranced me like nothing had up until that point. To think that in my early years of childhood, when everything was new and in its most pristine form, untouched by years of real life, it was Mario Galaxy that hooked me the most. My family and I spent hours playing that game. We probably took days on Honey Hive Galaxy trying to fly to the top of that tree, only fueling my imagination. It quickly became both my best friend and a calendar, a marker of major life events. I was 7 years old when I played it with my family. I finished elementary school the same time I beat Bowser the final time the story allowed me. I went into middle school after demolishing Cosmic Mario on Freeze Frame Galaxy by 10 seconds. I timed it. I loved this game. When people ask why I love video games, hell, media in general, my brain always guides me through every answer that people expect and straight to Mario Galaxy. Flying past the first time I saw The Godfather, blurring the memory of playing Ocarina of Time, I always stop at the same point in space. But then, like a star nearing its final days, it faded. The change from constant to background happened gradually. Life started getting in the way, the catch-all excuse for not doing something. Games went from everything I thought about, everything I did, until my eyes started projecting blue light, to an afterthought. After the homework, the sports, the stress of everyday navigation of high school, I didn't have enough energy for video games. Super Mario Galaxy was a relic of the past, a beautiful dream instead of a constant reminder of a love that has vanished. But the thing is, I didn't want it to fade. I didn't choose to stop loving games. Like a piece of art in need of restoration, my passion didn't choose to lose its prominence. I would play games, but they wouldn't click. I never thought a game that I half enjoyed was worth my precious time. I played some great games, sure, Skyrim, Breath of the Wild, Metal Gear Solid 5. These all entertained me, but they weren't Super Mario Galaxy. They weren't not focusing in school because Mario was jumping around the math problems in my head. They weren't tripping over myself the way up the stairs because I couldn't get to the Wii fast enough. They weren't consuming me, and I thought nothing else ever could. That is, until a certain game came into my life. A game I had brushed off because I never played the rest of the series. A game I honestly never thought I'd touch, but one I'm more than glad I did. God of War woke something up inside of me. Not some violent inner rage, but a burning passion for video games. You may be wondering, how is this the game that got you back into gaming? Short answer, I don't know. These other games I mentioned are hailed as some of the most immersive, expansive, and overall greatest games of all time. I didn't even play God of War 1 through 3. For all intents and purposes, this shouldn't have sucked me in the way that it did. But rather than being a fun distraction like every game of the past couple of years, it was like a bad crush. During class, I would daydream about going home and exploring Midgard. I would rush my homework just to get an extra 20 minutes in at the thing. What's over here? A new fighter to test the incredible combat system? How about I travel to a different realm to see what beauty or horror this game has left up its sleeve? The weight of Kratos' axe was enough to keep me coming back, but it gave me so much more. Mindless action and gore that I wouldn't see in a nightmare, sure, but also some of the most emotional moments I've seen in gaming. I use the words addicted and love synonymously when talking about this game. Even my productivity-obsessed brain that counts the minutes it takes to grab a snack could shut off for hours and be completely drawn into the world of Norse gods. But then, it ended. I mean, I guess it didn't really end. I still had some Valkyries left. I could go on endlessly in Muspelheim, but it wasn't as satisfying. The story of Kratos and Atreus concluded. The worlds were thoroughly explored. I didn't do everything, but I knew that only one game matched this one. These games were everything while I was playing them. I loved both of them to no end. I feel like they were the epitome of everything great about games, and I wanted more of them. I wanted more... God, what's the word? I wanted more... Experiences. That's it. Experiences. In Nikki Jakey's video, YouTubers talk about their favorite video games. That word comes up a lot. These aren't just games, there's something more. Okay, great. I figured out what I was missing. That's what I need, an experience. Okay, video over, thanks for watching. Except, what is an experience? The definition of the word experience is practical contact with and observation of facts or events. That doesn't seem very helpful. So anything is an experience? But then why did Watch Dogs 2 feel like an escape and God of War feel like something different? Why does Super Mario Galaxy give me goosebumps when I play to this day? What makes an experience impactful? Well, the answer is kind of hard because it doesn't really exist. Let me explain. These experiences that Drew Gooden had with Kingdom Hearts was impactful, life-changing even. He said that he doesn't even have memories of childhood, just points of his life where he was and wasn't playing games, as if pictures of him sitting in front of his PlayStation were the only ones in his parents' scrapbook. This is an incredibly profound statement. That is a transformative experience, one that changed the trajectory of who he was and who he was going to become. Raking the yard is an experience. Going grocery shopping is an experience. Doing homework is an experience. But they're not impactful. Not like these video games were. Not all experiences are created equal. Some, like the birth of a child, are positive and life-changing, while others, like the death of a loved one, carry a unique sense of transformative sadness. Most don't even get to be as impactful as those, however. The tiny experiences we have each day are insurmountable. The grains of sand that idly pass us by every waking moment are experiences. Waking up groggily on a Sunday morning and barely being able to put on your pants without falling asleep is an experience, but one you probably don't even remember. There's a clear distinction between the pants in the morning and, let's say, climbing a mountain, whether virtually or in real life. This difference will probably be easy to find, just a quick search on the internet and... oh, it looks like this is all marketing? Maybe I'll just adjust my search. This doesn't seem like Super Mario Galaxy. Does anyone know the difference between experiences? Is there any way to tell? Or do we all just mindlessly wait for an experience we can't describe? Here, let me try something else. Okay, this is good, we're getting somewhere. Ted always has my back. Let's see. Jeez, these are pretty heavy. This person lost his faith. This lady was a refugee in China after escaping North Korea. This woman survived a terrorist attack. Me? Well, I beat Cosmic Mario by 10 seconds on Freeze Frame Galaxy. I timed it. Suddenly, this doesn't seem like an experience. Not like anything these people have faced. They experienced real life. Me, well, I experienced a virtual one that wasn't even my own. So why is it still so impactful? The answer is in the title of these videos. How I learned to communicate my inner life with Asperger's. I survived a terrorist attack. How my mind came back to life. The difference between the pants and the mountain is not one that I can find, because it's not up to me. What makes an experience impactful is personal, completely independent of what anyone else has done or thought. Just because one experience sounds more important than another, doesn't mean they both can't be impactful. I can never understand how Eddie felt playing Halo Reach with his friends, no matter how he explains it. Just as I hope to never know what it feels like to survive a terrorist attack. I'm by no means saying the severity of these two experiences are even remotely close to each other, but I'm not saying one of these experiences is inherently more meaningful to any given person. These are pretty extreme examples, but the fact of the matter is that someone's most impactful experience of their life can sound completely meaningless to someone else. And no matter how much less impactful it sounds, you can't negate someone's memorable moments because it doesn't seem impactful enough. This is how special the personal aspect of an experience is. I will never be able to truly understand what it was like for someone to get married, or for someone to see their mom for the last time, or for something as simple and meaningful as getting a compliment. Bringing it back to video games, no matter how well I painstakingly try to put into words my time with Super Mario Galaxy, it will never make complete sense to you. I am by no means the only person that has felt joy from Super Mario Galaxy, but my joy that I felt is completely unique compared to everybody else's. Just the memories of infinitely long jumping around planets fills me with a sudden rush of dopamine. So naturally, I want to know, how can I get more? It took all of about 10 years and half of my life to find an experience that matched Super Mario Galaxy's, and I don't plan on waiting that long again. Except for the fact that it's impossible and that you wouldn't want to. This may not be the most literally impressive example, but let's take a look at Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Walt Disney presents Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
We find our three protagonists on Christmas Eve. Huey, Dewey, and Louie wake up the next morning to the greatest day ever. Sled in the closet, Christmas dinner, RC toys. I feel like this was everybody's perfect Christmas when they were 8 years old. Naturally, a shooting star flies by their room at the exact moment they wish it for it to be Christmas every day. You probably know the rest. The three think they've solved the problem to life. Presents every morning, the sun perfectly peeking over the snow-covered hill at the exact same time. That delicious Christmas dinner every night. How could it go wrong? Well, the dinner starts getting less delicious. With each bite, the turkey tastes more rubbery. With each snowflake, they wish the sun went out. With each gift, they wish they wouldn't be bombarded with something they used to see as special. It's the classic too much of a good thing story. Besides the philosophical conflicts that would come from only having the greatest experiences ever, it's simply impossible to chase those moments of pure bliss, without maybe taking hard drugs, but personally, that's off the table. What makes impactful moments just that is the fact that they're unique, finite, like a shooting star. They come when you're never expecting it, sometimes when you need it most. Rather than a repeating, withering shell of something I once loved, I have memories that give me a unique sense of nostalgic euphoria, a reminder of a medium that I love. When looking back at these memories, however, I am completely aware of those rose-colored goggles I look through.
Now, I went back to try and play it again, and I just couldn't. The graphics were so bad, and not just that, like gameplay on RPGs has got so much more enjoyable now. No, like the random battle thing is just frustrating. At the time, I wasn't used to anything better, so I was okay with it. But yeah, trying to play those kinds of games now, like that or Pokemon, is just ridiculous. I just can't enjoy it. It's kind of sad because I had so much enjoyment of it at the time, but like when you get used to better things.
Super Mario Galaxy and God of War aren't perfect. I recently watched a retrospective on God of War and I was confused. A game I saw as flawless was now on the stage of a talent show choking on its own lines. The combat system I saw as fluid, heavy, and precise is about as player-oriented as Nintendo's handling of fan-made games. The story is a complete mess. Atreus' change in character makes no sense. Content was cut that would have solved this issue, but they kept the problem in anyways. The fast traveling is atrocious, the set piece is mundane, and the graphics, although impressive, act as a distraction from the game's real problems. Boring, sloppy, and messy are the new words that are tied to this game forever in my mind. Except, they're not. Going back to Super Mario Galaxy, sure, some levels are more boring. Honey Hive Galaxy isn't the same playground I once explored with my family. Whole Belt Conveyor Planet, very poorly named, is more of a light romp than a teeth-grinding challenge. But the magic is still there. I feel 16-year-old me break free every time I rip an enemy in half as Kratos. Even though I'm aware of these problems, the experience is still there. The memory is still beautiful. The game is still the source of my love for an entire medium. Video games are special. The experiences they bring are some of the most unique in one's lifetime. Having a game that gives you that feeling is unlike anything else. Thinking about holding the controller 24/7, just waiting to be lost in that world all over again is an experience unique to gaming. In the moment, it's amazing, blissful even. Flying to a planet or through Midgard has left a mark on me unlike anything else, and even though I can't have those specific experiences again, they live untouched in my mind. Booting up these games are like wandering through a childhood home. Everything is special yet familiar. Everything a little faded but still mesmerizing because of what took place there once before. You can't have these moments again. But isn't that what makes them memorable? Even though I want to, I can't chase another Mario Galaxy. I can't expect a God of War with every game. Those types of experiences are completely unique. But I do finally know what this feeling I got while playing them was. It's unreachable, but inevitable. And the mark they left on me is something I'll carry on my journey to my next impactful experience. Not a journey that I force, but one I let happen to me. One where I explore and enjoy every second. One where I take in as many memories as possible. One I trek through with patience and excitement, because I know the next Mario Galaxy is out there somewhere, and I just have to have fun on the way there.